man really wants to come out and bang. Hyde weighs a little less. He would seem quicker, and yet really it's Michael Bent that has the boxing skills. We'll see who has the power.
So we're ready to go here at the Den, home of the Millwall Lions football team.
Herbie Hyde, of course, has knocked out virtually everyone he's faced, and some of them quickly. And if not for Michael Bent beating Tommy Morrison, we'd say he's right in the league with the guys he's been knocking out. And yet now we don't feel that way about him.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hyde really is not getting a lot of respect in the boxing community and amongst the heavyweight contenders, despite the fact that he does have certainly as impressive a record as a lot of them. And he has beaten that same caliber of competition that you were talking about.
Herbie is not he's not really a slick boxer. He'll be there in front of you, trying to exchange. He's a very straight up and down fighter. Nice right hand by Herbie.
Very good, and I think that got Bent's attention.
It sure did, and Michael Bent has a history of getting hurt early in fights. Michael Bent is not jabbing too much. That's an important weapon for him. Interesting thing is Hyde is making Michael Bent come to him and wants to counterpunch him.
And Bent just walking to him and not utilizing the jab very much. Hyde showing a pretty effective jab early in this fight.
His jab has been very good early on. And when Bent gets on the inside, he's doing that, tying him up. Does not want to fight on the inside with Bent.
Bent missed with that right hand. Little head banging going on there too.
It's interesting, Paul Thomas warning Bent, but the holding of Hyde is something that could at some point, and maybe should, get some kind of warning from him and could even equal points being taken away.
Another good right hand by Herbie Hyde.
He's an awkward puncher, but you can see he's kind of quick-handed.
And Hyde comes out working the jab in the second round. Numbers in the first round, Hyde was busier and landed a lot more. Bent got there with only 4 punches.
It's interesting, and at 50% for Herbie Hyde, if he keeps that up, he'll be very effective in this bout. Hyde holds every single time Bent gets on the inside. He's clear he just doesn't want to fight with him on the inside at all. It's interesting. I really thought Michael Bent might box a little bit. He has become the stalker and has been made so by Herbie Hyde.
Herbie Hyde's been busier. Been fighting the fight he wants to fight.
And not everybody thought that would be his fight. Many felt, as you did, that Hyde would come in after him early.
Good right hand by Bent.
The holding of Hyde is blatant. I mean, and there's Paul Thomas giving him a caution. He's had 2 of those warnings, so points could start to be taken away.
And a right hand from Bent again.
That holding's blatant. You got to start. You're going to take a point away pretty soon for that. Yep.
He's not only holding, he's pushing his head down at the same time.
Every time Bent hits him with something.
Bent really getting there with the right hand now, as Herbie Hyde with a little bit of a lazy left.
Now, one of the things that Michael Bent could do that he's not doing is double jab his way in and throw that right.
Michael Bentt stands to really make a big gain with a win in this fight.
Especially if it can be an impressive win. If he could knock Hyde out and do so convincingly. Herbie Hyde is as advertised. We were told by everyone from the tapes we watched, we could see that he's an awkward fighter who's ungainly, but gets there with a lot of punches, and to some degree, he's done that.
Herbie Hyde not able to get to Michael Bentt in this round. As we come to the end of round number 2.
Hi, I'm Chris Elliott.
Lions football stadium. Football, that is soccer football. And it is cold. Numbers in the last round. Herbie Hyde, interestingly enough, threw 16 more punches and landed 16 more punches in jabs, not in total punches, that is.
Yeah, that's through round 2, and even in round 2, Hyde landing more. Bentt has landed some good power punches, but interesting when you think that Herbie Hyde is out jabbing Michael Bentt. That is not something you really expected to see here.
And working the jab here as we start the third round, too.
Michael Bentt looks, though, and of course, we caution you that early rounds are not his forte, but he still, it looks like a guy looking for one punch.
Well, we talk about how being a champion can change you. Maybe it can also change you in a negative way, where all of a sudden you get the idea that you're a banger.
Well, and because he knocked Tommy Morrison out in the first round, and you can't throw a right hand better than the right hand he threw against Morrison, but remember this, Morrison was coming at him when he threw it. He's chasing Herbie Hyde. He landed the perfect counter right hand against Morrison, and from there on in, it was target practice. He's chasing Herbie Hyde. And the fans are not happy about Hyde's tactics, I don't think. They want to see him mix it up a little more. Boy, I'll tell you what, though, his jab is working overtime.
Very effective.
And you know what? Even though what we're seeing is a little different than what we anticipated, as they say, where's it written that Herbie Hyde can't box his way to a victory here?
Missed with that chopping right hand.
And one thing Michael Bentt's not doing at all, even though it's a small ring, he's not cutting the ring off on Hyde. He's just following him around.
Good uppercut, and that jarred Bentt. And Bentt is in trouble, and down he goes. Boy, he just got up. Didn't look like he was that hurt, and he really had to hurry to beat the count.
Now, remember, Bentt has been hurting down early before. Doesn't mean this fight's over.
He is still hurt, however. And now he fights off the ropes, and I think he got Hyde's attention. Might be a good idea to get out of that corner.
He just missed the counter left hook, Ben. He's taking a pounding, though.
Took another right hand. He's in trouble again. Big shots from Herbie Hyde. Bentt just covering up. And in big trouble in the corner. As this round winds down, Bentt is going to beat the round. But a huge round for Herbie Hyde.